The breath is incredibly powerful for transformation. It forces you to really be in the present moment. So you're not dragging your past around with you. I'm not special. I'm an ordinary person. I was a mess when I first came to Dr. Joe. I had spinal injuries. I had 3 traumatic brain injuries, more than 5 concussions. I had chronic migraines that kept me in a dark room for a month at a time in complete silence. I had PTSD, clinical PTSD, very severe. And I had vestibular dizziness that if I stood up, I would fall down a lot. That's why I lost track of how many concussions I had. I'd black out and fall down. And I also had an inoperable brain aneurysm. And this was from several injuries. And of course, I believed in all the doctors. I took all the medicines they prescribed for me. I wasn't organic. I had never meditated. I was just a normal secular person who believes in doctors and pharmacies. And whatever they told me, I did. And until it got to the point that I was so doped up on all these pills that I was literally a zombie. I did the progressive and intensive at home. So by the time I got to the retreat, I had some basic understanding. But I was such a mess that I just sat in my chair with my back brace, my sunglasses, my earplugs, hunched over with my head in my hands half the time or over my ears. And I just listened. And absorbed. And after 3 days, I sat up in my chair and I said to myself, I am not my body. And I took off my sunglasses, my earplugs, my back brace, and I got up and I went to the front of the room and I stood in front of the biggest speaker I could find. And I just started dancing like a maniac. And that was the beginning of my transformation. After the first traumatic brain injury, I was left with a very severe case of tinnitus. It was so loud, it was like a train going through my head, and it was nonstop. It was all the time. I never had any relief from it. And I had completely forgotten for years what silence was like. And I had to like really turn up the volume on music or even listening to people because the tinnitus was so loud. And recently at a retreat, I was doing the breath. We were doing a meditation and Dr. Joe was explaining the breath again. And it struck me in a little bit of a different way. And I was able to relax into the breath and stop thinking about the technique. And I, at one point, just became the breath. It just became me. And it just shot up into my brain. And I heard kind of like a little pop or a click or something. And the tinnitus was completely gone. I had to still work on all the emotional and psychological patterns and habits and programs that had caused me to be in those situations where I was injured in the first place. But it's been 7+ years, and I am happier, healthier, stronger than I think I've ever been in my life since I was a teenager. I'm 69 years old and I take no medicine whatsoever. And so I want you all to know that this really works. And it's not just something that comes and goes. It's, like I said, 7 years. And I just keep getting better and better and stronger and stronger. I'm pain-free. I'm very active. And I just want you to get what I got.